Now, children, studying about the Coleridge law. See, the statement of Coleridge law is not a very big thing. You can actually easily learn it from the book. The statement is clearly written over there, and what it means and how to understand is really important. Say, for example, I am trying to find out the molar conductivity of any electrolyte. So, how will I determine? So limiting molar conductivity, as we had already discussed, is the conductivity of the solution at infinite dilution. Infinite dilution means you cannot dilute the solution any further. Above this dilution, it will no more be a solution, but it will become a solvent purely. So till that extent, it is the infinite dilution. So the limiting molar conductivity of any electrolyte will be equal to the sum of the molar conductivities of the independent ions. Say, for example, it has a positive ion and it has a negative ion. So the molar conductivity of this entire solution will be equal to number of positive ions into conductivity of the positive ions. Similarly, added to it, number of negative ions multiplied by limited molar conductivity of the negative ions. I will make it clear with two examples. First electrolyte, I have NaCl because it has one cation and one anion only. So simply the limiting molar conductivity of NaCl will be molar conductivity of sodium plus limiting molar conductivity of the chloride. So what happens if I do not have this simple formula? Let us see. Say, for example, I am required to find out the limiting molar conductivity of sodium sulfate. So according to Coleridge law, it will be equal to 2 into sodium limiting molar conductivity of sodium ions. See, we have 2 sodium ions, so we have to multiply the limiting molar conductivity of sodium by 2 plus the limiting molar conductivity of sulfate ions, because we have only one sulfate in the formula, so it will be only 1. And this is how we will be making use of Coleridge law. One very important thing, the application of Coleridge law. Children, application of Coleridge law is very important. You can make use of Coleridge law to find out the limiting molar conductivity of weak electrolytes. So what is so special about weak electrolytes? Weak electrolytes actually do not ionize completely in the solution. So they pose a really difficult situation to how to calculate their molar conductivity. So we can make use of Coleridge law. You see, because sodium ion will conduct this much only, whether you are supplying sodium ions using sodium sulfate or sodium chloride. So I can make use of these things to calculate molar conductivity of many sorts without actually conducting the experiments. Say, for example, I have the data which provides me the molar conductivity of sodium and molar conductivity of COH minus ions. So, and if I need to find out the molar conductivity of sodium oxalate, this one, COO minus Na H, this is sodium sodium formate. Fine. So what I have to do, I need to find out the molar conductivity of HCOO minus plus molar conductivity of Na plus. I can make use of this reading and this reading, which may be obtained from the literature, right? So now we will be solving a few numericals based on it.